Did you know? Super Mario Bros. Wonder marks the newest 2D Mario adventure in over 10 years. It has been a long time since the release of New Super Mario Bros. U in 2012, and there are a lot of things that make this new release significant to the Super Mario Bros. Series. So in this video, I want to talk about the many ways that I feel make the release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder significant. Let's start off with something of a groundbreaking event. Charles Martinet is no longer the official voice of Mario, and this game marks the very first time where he will not be providing the voice in an official Mario video game. I mean, Mario doesn't really talk. He's been making random yips and yas for years, and he spoke like some sentences in Luigi's Mansion 3 for like one cutscene. But that's pretty much it. The Super Mario Bros. Movie was technically the first time Mario has been officially voiced by another human being, other than my boy Charlie, but in the video game world, this will be the very first time. I feel like this shouldn't matter, but I hope Nintendo keeps paying Charles' bills. You know, just gotta look out for my boy Charles. How's that golden parachute, homeboy? It's probably more like a tanuki tail or a cape. Anyways, this marks the end of an era. Adios, amiibo. New art style. I am so sick of the generic Mario design. You know, the Mario that seems to be plastered all over the merchandise and everything, and it's just like super safe. It's just like, it's just Mario. I call him corporate Mario. Just super safe and bland. I've watched videos about how Sonic's design is very safe and also really stupid with like the white gloves and the brown shoes. What's with the shiny overalls? I feel the same could be said about Mario these days. Super Mario Bros. Wonder marks the very first time in a long time where a mainline Mario game has a new style to the character, new expressions, new animations. It's so nice to see a Mario that harkens back to the original design. The new Super Mario Bros. Games brought this ugly corporate Mario into the picture, and it's so nice that new generations will have a fresh take on Mario and his friends. See, I grew up on different Mario designs. I love the Super Mario World take. I also love the Super Mario 64 Mario. Like, the renders of him are really cool too, if you look at them now. I can also appreciate the original chubby Italian look from like the NES games. I would take all those designs over the corporate Mario design. So it's nice to see them break conventions and give us a cool new Mario game with slick animations and expressions and poses and ways that they express themselves. I did appreciate the rebooted Mario from Super Mario Odyssey, but that was way back in 2017. Also, the overall new art style to the game is gorgeous. I think after everything is said and done, this might go down as one of the nicest looking Switch games graphically, which is significant since the Switch isn't really known for that sometimes. That just goes to show that a great art style goes a long way.
Yo mama's a slut!
Did you know? 2D platformer Oversaturation. It seems like every week there's a new indie 2D platformer game. This is really prevalent on like smartphones and like Steam for the last couple years. I understand why. It's literally the easiest video game to program, which is probably why there seems to be so many. After all, like, video game development is a business, right? But I'm honestly sick of them. I played so many 2D platformers in my life, especially like in the Super Nintendo era and like the 16-bit era where everything was 2D. I refuse to really care about a new one, and yet this game has piqued my interest. Like, I love Shovel Knight, I love the new Mega Mans, but I don't want to go from left to right anymore. I think the inclusion of the Wonder Flower adds so much more surprise to the game, because when you grab the Wonder Flower, just anything can happen. Sometimes it turns the game into like a top-down view. Sometimes it changes it into like, I don't know. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know. I've seen so many takes on the genre, like Metroidvanias and blah blah blah. You know where I'm going with this. So to see Nintendo come out with a 2D platformer as a main release in 2023, starting their main guy, is pretty significant. Something about this game makes me feel like it's a game worth enjoying. New Kingdom. The game takes place in the Flower Kingdom, so Super Mario Odyssey showed us that there is way more kingdoms than just the Mushroom Kingdom, which means we'll finally have a new game in a different location with different enemies, challenges, and designs. There's been so many new Super Mario Bros. Games that just borrowed assets from each other to the point where they all just became a blur in my mind when I think about how similar they all were. And it's also nice to have new music in the series too. They're very insistent that this is a Super Mario Bros. Game, as this title says, and not a new Super Mario Bros. Game, which I always thought was a stupid name. I'll get into that later on in the video. The series needed a visual refresh because it was really getting stale. New Super Mario Bros. 2 and New Super Mario Bros. U both came out in the same year, so it's been time that we have a new 2D Mario game. And they're also bringing back Daisy as a playable character, which if you think about it, fits with the whole flower aesthetic theme that they're going for. She debuted in Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy, and after that, she was like referenced a million times in every Mario Party, kart, and sports game, because, you know, the Mario series needs more princess representation.
Daisy.
Hi, yeah, I know you're Daisy. You've been saying that for the last 20 years, homie. Chill.
Baby Daisy.
A major release 7 years in. So this is the point I brought up in many of my past videos. It's very significant that we're getting a major release from Nintendo so far into the console's life cycle. Usually Nintendo consoles have a 5-year lifespan, but the Switch has blown past that, and we've been getting massive releases in like the last 2 years, like Splatoon 3 and a new Zelda game, and just so many other games that have been coming out on the Switch in the last couple of years and coming out soon. This means that the developers had ample time to understand the hardware, and thus they're able to deliver us truly special game that really uses the technology of the Switch. I mean, the Switch, I don't know if the Switch has like crazy technology, but you know, they have time to really understand it. So it's cool that they're letting their developers understand the console. So seeing them really deliver us great games in the last little bit, and even games coming up in the next year, is very significant, and I'm excited. Goodbye, New Super Mario Bros. Like I said, I hated the title New Super Mario Bros. So in Japan, the word new was like translated from a word that means like cool or fresh. So in Japan, it would like translate to like cool Super Mario Brothers or fresh Super Mario Brothers. I wish they like brought that over here into the West with the localization, because I feel like cool Super Mario Brothers just sounds cooler than New Super Mario Brothers. I felt like the new Super Mario Bros. Games were very oversaturated. Like I said, 2 of them released in the same year, and they didn't do enough to differentiate them from each other. Like I said, they borrowed assets, music, and everything from each other. The new didn't really feel new after a while because so many games were coming out so quickly, and it used like a very safe Mario design. My favorite from the series was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, because it was the first time we got a major 2D Mario on a home console. So this release really brings back nostalgia for that time. I wasn't excited for New Super Mario Bros. U because I didn't really care about the series by that time, and I feel like the game just came out because Nintendo needed to quickly get a Mario game out for the launch of the Wii U. So it's very significant that they gave us some breathing room in between these games to really bless us with an official Super Mario Bros. Game, and hopefully saying goodbye to the New Super Mario Bros. Name. I also love that they called it Wonder, because using that word brings a whole new sense of wonder to the franchise. Mario vs. Sonic. Another thing that makes this game significant is that it's releasing next to a 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game. Yeah, that's right, it's not the days of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis anymore, so it's really cool to see that happening in 2023. I'm so sick of the inconsistency in Sonic games that I probably won't ever get Sonic Superstars. The timing of both these games coming out is really significant, I feel, and also nostalgic. New power-ups and ways to play. Of course, with every new Mario game, there are new power-ups, and this game brings way more to the series than they usually do. It seems like with every new Mario game, they have to introduce at least one new power-up that never again shows up, except for getting a cup named after them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Expansion Pack, whatever that's called.
Did Mario Kart 8 just die already?
With the new power-ups, I'm pretty excited that they brought back the drill from Super Mario Galaxy 2 and made it its own suit he can wear. There are also way more power-ups that we don't even know about, which is crazy and significant. I guess we have to play the game to find out. They also brought in a new badge system that lets you modify and change how you play 2D Mario in this game. We're getting a flower-themed grappling hook, which is a first. You can also save a power-up in reserve, just like in past Mario games, so there's so many ways to play this game. They also brought back Nabbit for all the noobs out there, you know who you are, and Yoshi, who has a cool new redesign. The elephant power-up was completely unexpected. When he jumps on Yoshi, it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable though. I would love to see a Mario game in the future that incorporates every power-up that's ever been introduced in a Mario game. Maybe call it Super Mario Brothers Zoo, because like they're all animals. There's a bunch of animal power-ups. There's like a flying squirrel, there's a cat, there's like an elephant now. In the future, what are they gonna have? Like a lion Mario? You have a cougar Mario. Actually, I'd be fine with cougar Mario. That'd be pretty cool. A new classic. So I meet people all the time in my adult life who say their first Mario game that they've ever played and what got them into the franchise has been a game that's come out in the last 10 years. I might have said this in my Mario Galaxy video, but I remember talking to a guy who said their first Mario game was Super Mario Galaxy. But if you really think about it, it came out like a long time ago, so like that makes sense, but man, I feel old when they say that. And then the thought occurred to me that Super Mario Bros. Wonder just might be someone's first experience playing Mario, especially especially with the Mario Brothers movie bringing so many people into the franchise, which doesn't make sense. Like, how did that happen? I can see a whole new generation of gamers being exposed to the Mario series and becoming Mario fans, and this being their first game. And it'd be a great first game for someone to play Mario with. And it'd be a great first game. I can see a whole new generation of gamers demanding Nintendo in a couple years to return to this style of Mario game. I feel like this game has the potential to go down as one of the most pivotal releases in the Mario series. One of the first games I've ever owned was Super Mario World, and there is so much attention to detail in this game that makes me feel like this is a true follow-up to Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. I also heard a rumor that, it could be wrong, but internally during the development of this game, they were originally going to call this game Super Mario Bros. 4, but I'm glad they didn't, because that would have carried a lot of baggage and expectation. But knowing that makes me feel like, yeah, this game totally could have been Super Mario Bros. 4 with all like the passion and the attention to detail and like the things they've added to it. That makes it very significant. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate everybody who's been commenting, subscribing, and engaging with my channel and the content. If you're new here, I would love to see you subscribe. I'm trying to post weekly videos. Sometimes I hit that and sometimes I don't. I'm a human, so please don't hurt me. I will see you in the next one.